Are we live? This is the first hangout I'm doing, so hang on one sec, everybody. Sorry about that. I just want to make sure everything's set up. Oh, I've had a crazy amount of technical difficulty, so it's a miracle that I'm only 5 minutes late. I bought a new webcam. The resolution is shit, so I'm using my computer webcam. And hopefully you guys notice the lighting, because thankfully my girlfriend brought over a light, so you guys can actually see my face. Next thing is working on the I want to get some stuff behind me. It's not nice. I want to get some posters around, suit it up a little bit. To be honest, I don't know what you guys are saying because I can't find the chat right now, so I'm looking for it. So one thing I can do is to keep rambling on until I figure out what's going on here. And this is the first live stream. I'm going to be doing consistent live streams on Saturdays. So hopefully they're going to end up better, or, you know, I'll be able to just hop on and do an easy live stream without having to waste time looking around for the chat. Why isn't it there? Sorry, everybody. Just go get a drink, go to the bathroom. This might take about a minute. Oh, I think I found it. We're good. We're good. What's going on, everybody? So good to see all of you. Awful. I'm not the best at it. It's not you, it's me. I can't pronounce anything at all. Curious03, how's it going? John Taylor, what's up? House Stark, the North remembers. You're damn straight they do. What's going on? Rini G, Jennifer DiMatteo. Love your predictions, dude. D18, thanks a lot, buddy. And who's your favorite character and why? Oh, so we're gonna go right into the questions. I'm down. I'm down. Favorite character, I gotta say, is Jon Snow. What's interesting with Jon is that he was actually my favorite character since episode 1. I don't know. It was kind of like I put on Game of Thrones and I saw Jon Snow and I was like, I like that guy. And then ever since, he's become my favorite character. And it just so happened that he ended up having like the craziest story arc. So yeah, in my experience getting on Game of Thrones, some of you guys might have started from the beginning. Not me. I've started really late. I'm a late bloomer. I started watching Game of Thrones after season 5. What happened was I actually worked with my buddy Trevor. You guys, some of you may know him if you follow the channel way back. He watched Game of Thrones and he was nagging me to get started, and I was like, nah, man, like whatever. But Game of Thrones, I sat down and I watched the first season. I got a flash drive from someone at work, and I ended up falling in love with it. It's like everything that I love in a show. So I went out, I dropped like $200 on all the Blu-rays, sat down, binge watched it. Season 5, I was like so far gone. I literally got home from work at 6 o'clock and I binge watched it from 6 till 4 in the morning. And I watched the whole season without getting up. Like I didn't eat, I didn't sleep. It was crazy. So season 6 was the first time I've actually watched it live. So I'm really excited this time to really sink my teeth into it. It's just a shame that it's only 7 episodes. Yeah, Jon Snow is pretty sexy. You're right, John Taylor. Let's see what we got here. So here's another skill. I got to try and develop the skill of reading through the chat because sometimes it goes so fast that like I can't trace it. But I'll get better at that. Don't worry. House Stark remembers. Do you think Jon Snow will be a better king than Robb? I actually do. What I find interesting about Robb is that Jon Snow is the most like Ned Stark. The thing with Robb is that he didn't listen to his counsel, and that was kind of the downfall of him and led to the Red Wedding because he ended up marrying, you know, that woman. I forget his name off the cuff. But Jon, I think we're going to see him struggle in a different way than Robb. He's honorable to a fault, which I love about him. To the detriment where it's almost not smart sometimes, but he doesn't care. He does what's right no matter what. But that's where he's going to combat Sansa, is that he's not always going to take the move that benefits him. He's going to take the move that he thinks it's right, and that might be to other people's detriment. So I think they might explore that in this season. Robbie Walker, I seriously don't know how you managed to create these incredibly accurate predictions. Keep them up. Thanks a lot, buddy. And it's a lot of writing. It's so what I do is, you know, I when the plot leaks came out, if you followed earlier on, I was the first to shit on them. I made this video and I compared them to the season 6 predictions, and I pretty much stated that they were complete bullshit. And I hated them. And then as time went on, stuff started to become more and more true, and I started to get more and more upset. But now I took what I found was true and what was confirmed in Watches on the Wall, and I wrote all those down, and I tried to connect the dots and what made sense. And now I think the plot leaks are pretty cool. But I think there's a really distinct difference between what I'm predicting and what you guys see in my predictions videos versus what I want to happen. Some of the things that I predicted is I don't want it to happen. It's just what I think is going to happen. A big example of that is Viserion dying. I don't think Viserion should die, but that being said, I think it's totally justified, because I was a huge fan of the 3 dragon theory where you have Tyrion, Daenerys, and Jon. I just don't think it suits Tyrion to ride a dragon, so I think it does make sense in a way to kill, if you're going to kill a dragon, kill Viserion, and Jon and Daenerys will be the dragon riders. And, you know, I like it better that way. It makes an interesting story. History doesn't repeat itself all the time. You don't have to have 3 dragon riders. I think it's a different story if you have 2 dragon riders. My prediction, what I wanted to happen was in the last season, I wanted Drogon to die. I thought that would be so badass. And then Bran would have to warg into the 2 dragons because they would refuse to fight their alpha brother. And that's how Bran would fly. So yeah, that was my prediction, but I don't think that's going to end up happening. Why do I think Grey Worm is going to die? Asa A. I think Grey Worm's going to die just because he's just a character that I feel like should die. He's gonna finally, you know, get with Missandei. You know, the show finally gives people what they want, and then they take it away. And I think I can't think of any other main characters that would die. Like Tormund, for example, I don't think he's going to die because he's really important in representing the wildlings and leading the wildlings. So yeah, Grey Worm to me, I just feel like he's replaceable. If he dies, she could bring in Daario from Meereen. She could send Daario a raven saying, "Hey, I need you to come be the representative of my Unsullied," or she can put another Unsullied into power. So I just think there's a lot that they could do there, and I think Daenerys needs something to drive her. You know, because right now, with the fight scene that I've talked about between Jaime and Daenerys, she's going to be burning their resources. And when she's taking the 7 kingdoms, you can't just walk up and burn the whole army. That's not good for morale. The people won't support her. She has to be responsible. And I think Grey Worm dying is a good way for her to kind of catch her off guard and show kind of her dark side. I understand that it's war, and I understand it's valid to kill, you know, as many people as possible, but I think it will paint her in a negative light that she's just decimating hundreds and hundreds of soldiers, and they're all just like burning alive. And there's, you know, I don't know. I think it paints her in a negative picture. And in that fight scene between Jaime and the battle for Highgarden, I hope they do it from Jaime's perspective. I would love to see just Daenerys from the sky, like almost, it's like intimidating. You know what I mean? So I think it would be awesome. What will be Beric Dondarrion's mission from the Lord of Light? Hala Madrid. That's interesting. I haven't really like thought about it. But I think they all, like Melisandre and Beric Dondarrion, I think they all have somewhat of a coherent, like the same vision. And that's almost to just prevent the long night from happening. I'm not like, I'm sure there's more details to it, but it's symbolically like their fire and their mission is to fight ice, which is encroaching on Westeros. So I think that's really going to be their mission. Blue Stars. Once Jon finds out about his heritage, how will that affect his relationship with Sansa and him being king of the North? So in my predictions, I thought that Littlefinger would use Jon Snow's heritage almost as like he kind of knew it, and like it was kind of like the obvious thing. He connected the dots, and he might as well use it as a chess piece, being like, "Hey, you're a Targaryen, so you're not entitled to the throne." and he's going to be stuck between two leaders. He's like, Daenerys is a Targaryen, but she's the one who's conquering Westeros. She's the one who would sit on the Iron Throne, not Jon. So he's just kind of stuck. I think their relationship, Sansa and Jon, I think they'll still, they'll be brother and sister. Like nothing will change that. Even if he is a Targaryen, but I think they're going to have really different opinions on how to rule. So that'll be really interesting. And a comment really interested me right here. Who just donated? Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Talking Thrones? Wow. Thank you so much. I'm like, I did not. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. I'm speechless. That's amazing. Thank you so much. But I really wanted to draw quick attention to White Walker. I'd actually get so mad. Me too. But I don't know if he's going to become a White Walker, but this is the way I see the story. I see that Daenerys is going to be kind of like the protector, the conqueror. Jon is going to be the savior, and Tyrion is going to be the ruler. And that is all based on, I think, their whole character arcs. Daenerys has always been conquering things, taking things over. Jon, he's almost like a Jesus. Like, I'm not religious in it, in any particular way. I'm just saying the story, in a sense, is Jon's arc. He gets like resurrected, and his whole journey is about perspective, understanding two sides of the story. And I'm making a video about that, so I'm really excited to show you guys that. But it's understanding duality, and everything about Jon is opposite. And I think that's very important. Yeah. And I think that lets him relate to both sides. So if we do see the White Walker aspect and see if they actually have a society, then Jon would be the one to connect it. And a prediction that I made earlier was I thought that Daenerys would be the one who would want to burn all the White Walkers, obviously save Westeros. That's the right thing to do. But I think Jon might know different and know more about the White Walkers and maybe kill her to protect them. But now that I'm rambling about Jon, I just want to touch on one thing about the trailer. I remember I want to hear you guys' opinions right now. In the trailer, when we see Jon standing there and there's whites on either side, and we see him just kill one white, what do you guys think that means? Because I was thinking about it, and tell me if I'm completely wrong, because I'm running with it. I don't know. But all the whites are staying there, and the best I could come up with is, oh, the Night King is testing Jon. I think that, what if Jon's death and resurrection gives him an edge? That the whites almost in a way cannot sense him the way that they can sense regular living people. Since he was resurrected, what's crazy about Jon being resurrected is it brings him closer and closer to the Night King. I'm also going to be drawing connections to Jon and the Night King. It's amazing. Think about it. They're both ice and fire. Jon outside is snow. He's a Stark. He resonates with ice. And so is the Night King. If you look at him, he's covered in ice. He lives in the north. But internally, they're Targaryen. Jon's blood is Targaryen. His internal being is Targaryen, even though he feels like ice, a Stark. And that is what the Night King is. He is ice, but he's embodied by this piece of dragon glass, which is created by fire. And I think that Jon's death and resurrection brings him even closer to the Night King. The two are like crazy connected. So I think that there might be really a lot to explain on how the whites might not attack Jon, because Jon is literally the human embodiment of the Night King. So I think that's crazy. And, he may take that mantle. He may destroy them all, or he may take that mantle. I think the best possible thing that could happen to Jon is that he stays as king in the north. That is the best possible thing that will happen to Jon. Daenerys, I'm sorry, but I think she's going to die. She's a conqueror, and I think she's going to die with her dragons fighting. But I think Tyrion would be the character that picks up the pieces. And if there still is a throne, he'd be the one to sit on it. Maylise Robinson, hey, BuzzTox. Do you think that Tyrion will get nervous when he sees Jon with the dragons or Gendry? I guess, are you calling back to the trailer? Because he looks nervous in multiple scenes. Like, he looks like he's constantly scared. And by the way, I want to try and get a Tyrion prediction video out tomorrow, so I'm going to work my ass off and try and get that out for you. But I think he may get a little nervous, but I think in season 6 they established that he kind of understands the core of the dragon, like, psyche in a way. Like, he approached them and he set them free because he pretty much figured out that the dragons won't harm him because they know that he's on their side. So I think Tyrion won't be really that nervous. And I think they're going to be reined in and they're going to be pretty well controlled around Dragonstone with Daenerys. And I think what would scare Tyrion is that if they take a liking to Jon, because that could almost create a power struggle. If you have the Mother of Dragons, obviously no one can contest her relationship with the dragons. But if Jon just walks up here and says like, hey, I'm Jon, I'm sad. And then he has this relationship and crazy bond with one of these dragons, that would scare him because he's hand of the queen and she's the Mother of Dragons. And if these dragons start fleeing her and supporting somebody else, that could be an issue. But I think Tyrion and Jon's relationship anyway is strong enough. Like, I don't think there would be any conflict there. I think we're going to have a strong relationship between all these characters. Ronan McGregor, do you think that Nymeria will last living direwolf at the end? If she's the leading wolf of the pack, so it comes full circle, and when she dies in the north with the litter pups for the Starks to find, like season 1, that'd be really interesting. It'd kind of be like everything becoming full circle. With the direwolves, I honestly don't know. I think with Ghost, we have to start seeing more of Ghost. I think we're gonna see Ghost in episode 1 and 2. I really want that scene of like Jon at the weirwood tree and kind of Ghost by his side, but he's probably going to leave Ghost at Winterfell because the producers of the show, they don't want to pay that much money for these dogs because there's so much money. You got to film the wolf and then you got to project it up and make it like bigger. And then the actors got to, play with some green thing and then you project it on the screen. So it's a lot of work. I want to see him more in season 8. With Nymeria, I think that she is definitely going to have that wolf pack. And I think that'll be awesome. But I don't think we're going to see it this season. I think we're going to get a hint at it. I think we might see Nymeria, and then maybe we'll see her get called away by a wolf pack or something like that. And then that kind of lays the groundwork for us being introduced to her in season 8. But that's what I think. I could be totally wrong. But Nymeria living, it doesn't surprise me. I feel like, I could see Ghost dying. I could see Nymeria being the last direwolf. I haven't really given it much thought, though. Oh, Zim 137. I'd cry if Arya, Jaime, or Tyrion dies. I'm of the belief that I think Tyrion is the only one who's making it out of those two. With Jaime, that talks about the predictions that I make versus what I want. The fact that I said that Cersei would stay in King's Landing and Jaime would leave, I still love the idea of Jaime having to kill Cersei. So I feel like they would have to make that happen. And then Jaime to kind of die with Cersei. I think that'd be awesome. Arya, I feel like they've kind of set her up as a character that's she's gonna die. I think she's gonna die fighting. And the thing about Arya, she was my second favorite character in episode 1, season 1. Like right from the start, her, Arya, and Jon were my favorite characters. Arya, I think with her, I think it would be great if they brought back the Faceless Men. Because I think he let her go. And like my whole Cersei thing, my whole Cersei predictions when they're going to want, the Iron Bank will want to have her killed. So they'll go to Jack and Hagar. But the little Easter egg that Jack and Hagar already knows that Arya knows her name and that Cersei's on Arya's list. So I think that'd be interesting. And I think it'd be cool if she had an assassin coming after her because she left. But based on the story, it didn't seem like that set it up. Just looking for a question here. Ben, this is interesting. The series will end next season by the camera panning out of the show to show us that this is all just happening inside the eye of a giant Macumba. You're damn right that's going to happen. The one thing about that I like really pulled from that is like I've watched the show like 100 times. I'm not joking. I've watched it over and over again, and every time I see that scene, I like appreciate it because Bran's like, maybe we do, and it shows that he's just really smart and ahead of his time. So they probably do fucking live in a giant Macumba. It wouldn't surprise me. But the one thing that they can't do is they can't do the Westworld cop out. They won't, but I found it funny that they were talking about that. People are like, that'd be the coolest thing ever if you had like you had these people going to the Game of Thrones world in Westworld. No, that cannot happen. Don't mix my worlds, please. This isn't the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Deca Robinson, do you think that Jon Snow could finish the season stranded on the wrong side of the wall? No. I don't. And okay, I'm going to say a spoiler. If you don't want to be spoiled, press the mute button, and then when you're ready, I'm going to go like this, and then you unmute. Okay. We know that ready, mute it. We know that he goes to the Dragon Pit. So he's going to have that meeting with Cersei. They're going to discuss terms. They're going to bring back that white. So I don't think that there's a possible way that Jon would get stuck behind the wall. But that being said, I think the fight of season 8 will happen kind of at the wall or the north. So I think that's what's going to happen. You can unmute now. Wesley Mons, the idea of Melisandre coming to Dragonstone to meet Daenerys with Varys being with Dany. What kind of situation do you think that Varys and Melisandre will get into? We know that he hates magic and the Red God. Yeah, I know. I really want them to call back on what he heard in the flames, because they always talked about, you know, some guy cut his dick off and then they threw it in the fire and then he heard screaming and it's like taunted him forever. Kinvara, the Red Witch in season 6, she mentioned that, but we actually don't know what they said. So it'd be interesting if Melisandre could say that. Varys is very skeptical. I don't think he'll support it at all. But that's the one part of the story that I'm unsure about, because Tyrion brought in, you know, Kinvara to make the people kind of support Daenerys. So what is her purpose? So I think Melisandre's purpose isn't really going to be her religion. I think it's going to be her information. Like, she's going to go there and say, like, hey, look, like, I was with Jon Snow. This happened to him. This happened to him. This happened to him. And obviously there's going to be a skepticism. Like, she's going to be like, yeah, right. Like, really? But I think her real use is going to be information. And Varys, I think he's just, there's nothing he can really do. Like, he's just going to be like, oh, I don't like that. And then Daenerys will just brush it off. House Stark, the North remembers. BuzzTox, I think that the opening scene of this season will be Arya wearing Walder Frey's face and killing all the Freys. Hey, if you watched my prediction video, I think the exact same thing. And what's weird is I didn't know this news, but people are telling me, like, hey, like, based on the first reactions, people are apparently coming forward and saying that Arya starts off episode 1. So if she does, that's pretty kick-ass, because I predicted that she'd be wearing Walder Frey's face and she wouldn't say anything, because that's the one thing I don't understand with faceless people is, and they've been kind of inconsistent with the show, is when you wear a face, that doesn't change the voice. So that whole thing confuses me. Like, I can't picture Walder Frey talking like Arya. They would do Walder Frey talking like Walder Frey, but does that involve potions? Does that involve like a certain thing? Like, this is the part I don't understand, and it's been really inconsistent. So I don't know what the rules are there. So that's one of the things that really frustrates me. And it will be Red Wedding style, I think. And I think that it comes full circle. It's awesome. Like, Arya is the one who takes out all the Freys, and then I hope she comes back into contact with Lord Edmure, and then she kind of puts him on the track to being Lord of the Riverlands again. I saw something I wanted to read, but I lost it. Oh, hi. Do you have any thoughts on Mira's storyline this season? And what's next? Mira, I really want more character development from her, because I feel like she's always just been kind of like Bran's, like, she moves Bran around. Like, that's what she does. We haven't really got more from her. So I want to see more of a connection. I want her to maybe see Howland Reed again, her dad, go back to, why can't I think about it? The Neck. Go back to the Neck. Talk to her dad. I think that'd be great. But I don't know if we'd see Mira again until season 8. I think it's obvious Bran's coming to Winterfell. It just seems like the natural progression. We see him at the wall in the trailer. And I think Mira might end up going home. She's been through a lot. So I think that's granted. And I don't think we'll see her till season 8, because I don't think they're going to use Mira Reed as a standalone character. Like, she can't hold her own story at the Neck. So if she does, she'd have to come back to Winterfell. And we got 7 episodes. Like, every scene that we're going to have in this series is going to count. Every single thing. And by the end of it, it's probably going to be insane because all these characters are going to be together. So we're going to get scenes with 10 characters, 5 characters that we love in every single scene. So we're going to be getting more of Daenerys, more of Jon, because more of like Tyrion, more of all these characters, because I think they're all going to be in one area. Mike Tinall, loving the hockey here. Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate that. You're the best. Arya's voice changed as a servant. Sonya Kenny, you're totally right. See, that's what I'm talking about. Everything's inconsistent. Jack and Agar's voice didn't change in season 3, but it did change in season 5. So, like, I just don't know the rules. I don't understand how wearing somebody's face changes your voice. I don't think that makes any sense. Zim137, thanks for coming first to the chat, my boy. Yo, Max, do you think that Brandon Stark, Bran the Builder, and the Night King and Bran are the same person? So, I got this question by somebody else too. I want to give him a shout out because it is a good question. I can't find it, so you get all the credit. But I don't think that's the case. I think it's interesting to go back and like look at it, but like Brandon the Builder was an actual being, so Bran could go back and change things. There's nothing stopping him from maybe warging into Brandon the Builder. But I don't think that holds up. I want Bran to be his own person. And the whole thing with timelines, like, it's very complicated. Like, you can't change the past, but it's already happened. So it's like, it's very confusing. Like, Hodor always said Hodor. And that's always been his arc. But Bran had to change it in the future, which affected the past. So it's this constant loop that's just, it's very confusing. But I would love to see Bran have some kind of a connection with the Night King. We know that they're going to be fighting each other. In the trailer, we see him flying all these crows with the Night King. So I love that. And I personally have, in my White Walker prediction video, check that out. I've pretty much been talking about their abilities. And like the Night King, I believe he's a warg, and I believe he can green sight. Like, I believe that every time he brings up the dead and their eyes turn light blue, it's not because he's just resurrecting them. It's because he's warging into them. And I think that's the difference, is Bran can warg into the living and he can warg into the dead. And it's like a yin and a yang, and they're fighting each other. And I think that Bran, like when Bran was marked, he touched the tree and he walked to the Night King, and the Night King marked him. Why? I think he might have marked Bran because he could have been in a weirwood tree too. And yeah, so I think that would be really interesting to see, because you could see them not only fighting in the real world, but Bran's gonna be fighting him almost like in the weirwood, fighting him mentally instead of physically. So I think that would be really awesome. More questions. Wow, there's a lot of you turned out. Thank you everyone who showed up. This is awesome. It's way better than my last live stream. I showed up and there was like 5 people, and yeah, we just chatted a little bit. Trev was there too, and Trev and I just had a conversation without really addressing anybody because we didn't know how to do a proper live stream. Talk about the relationship between Rhaegal and Jon, please. Okay, I will. The thing with this season is I don't know how much we're gonna get. It's really a coin toss. Do you want like the epic finale? Let me ask you guys, would you prefer an epic finale of Jon like getting that relationship with Rhaegal in the last episode, or would you prefer like a consistent build-up? Would you like to see Jon riding Rhaegal in episode 4, or that wouldn't happen, in episode 5, or would you rather him just ride Rhaegal boom at the last episode? Like me personally, for this, I don't know. I can only really talk about what I want. And I think we are going to be seeing a connection kind of peppered in throughout the series. I think as soon as Jon gets there, it's going to be like, holy shit, this dragon loves me. And then it's going to kind of spiral. And then I feel like Jon's going to be like, I don't want to pet the dragon. And then he'll just end up building this bond. And I think it's going to be kind of teased. And then I think the last episode, I hope that Rhaegal flies in. I'm like, I pray. It would be the coolest thing ever if Jon closed his eyes like Daenerys and just summoned Rhaegal. I think that would be the coolest thing ever. And I think it would be like, we're seeing all of these like callbacks from, what's it called? I forgot what I was going to say. Shit. Oh yeah. All these parallels, like Daenerys with when she gets pushed up and she's like the one. It's awful. She's like the one white person surrounded by all the slaves of Marine. And then you see Jon when he kind of pulls himself up from Battle of the Bastards. So there's like all of these parallels between the characters, and I think that would be an awesome way to do it. Zim137, best GOT. BuzzTox, Talking Thrones, The Last Harpy, Game of Theories, Emergency Awesome, Simple. I do love all those guys. They're very good at what they do. And what I love about all of them is they all kind of offer a different take. Me personally, I'm like, holy hell. I procrastinate. I'm just going to let you guys know a little bit. That's why my predictions are all coming out now. Like, I procrastinated like crazy. And like, I get the criticisms. I do a lot of spoilers. And it's not everybody wants to be spoiled. I totally get that. That's why I'm going to have to start moving in the direction of being more for everybody. That's why I'm working on that Jon Snow video. But videos like that, it's like the writing on them is crazy. Like that Bran Stark video. It took me like 5 days to write it. Just getting all the little nuggets from all the seasons to kind of put it in a cohesive like thesis. So with Jon Snow, it's going to be the same thing. And though, interesting fact, those videos are the one videos that I have to write out a script. I have to script it. But my other videos, I just wing it. I just cuff it. I do like bullet points of what I want to say, and then I just ramble on, and then, you know, hopefully it works out. Chandler Pace, get a haircut, queer. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I also want to comment that somebody said I had nice hockey flow. So I guess it goes both ways. And, you know, I think everyone should grow their hair out for Game of Thrones. You know, why the hell not? What else do we got here? Ellie Funlay. There was a lot of foreshadowing of Bran saying that he will fly, that if he stays too long warging in the past that he will never return. So do you think eventually Bran will have to? Interesting. I don't know. With Bran, it's a toss-up. Like he's the three-eyed raven, and Bran's storyline is just a constant circle. And I talk about this in one of my videos. That Bran, in the first earlier seasons, season 1, season 2, season 3, he was following this raven, this crow. And you think that it's the three-eyed raven and the old one, and he's leading Bran. But every time he sees this three-eyed raven, it takes him to a family event. And I believe that three-eyed raven isn't the old raven. It's actually Bran. So I think that Bran has to lay down the groundwork for himself and for everyone else. And Bran, I believe, isn't the three-eyed raven because he has green sight. I believe that he's the three-eyed raven because he's Bran Stark. And he has the connection to his whole family lore. And do I think he might not be able to escape? Sure, it's possible. But I like to think that Bran would be mature enough not to get sucked in to, you know, that kind of thing. Like he'll be responsible, you know. But with Bran as the one character, I don't know if he's making it out or not. But I do believe that he's going to have to be defended, whatever that is. They're going to have to defend Bran Stark, whether he's at Winterfell in the Weirwood Tree or he's at the, what's it called? The Circular Island. It's not coming to me. I'm sorry, guys, but it's not coming to me. House Stark, BuzzTox. What will Jon? I'm gonna have to start taking other questions other than Jon. I'm sorry, guys. If you guys love Daenerys, if you guys love Arya, I'll get into them too. Don't worry about it. What will Jon decide to do with the Umbers and Karstarks? I'm interested. What do I think he's gonna do? Jon always goes the honorable route, so I think his point of view is, you kidding me? Like they're not responsible for the actions of their parents. Like this is ridiculous. They deserve their lands. They deserve to live in their homes. Sansa's gonna be like, what the fuck? Like we need them to be loyal. How are we supposed to expect people to follow us if they don't, you know, obey whatever? We might as well take away their lands and give it and reward another house that has been loyal to them. And Sansa wants to create all these chess pieces. If you look at my Sansa predictions, I believe that she's going to be like, first of all, she wants to take over the Dreadfort again. Why? because she wants to reunite the North, but also the Dreadfort is a chess piece that she can use. She can bring somebody in as a lord of the North. A lord? One of the bannermen. I'm sorry, guys. My mind's gone. But she wants to create an open field with all these chess pieces, and she wants to... But don't get me wrong. Sansa is a great character. She wants the best for her family. I think she's going to, no matter what, she's going to want to fight for her family. But Jon is just going to be honor, 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 and sometimes it may be to their detriment. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but I think he's going to want to keep the Karstarks and the Umbers in Winterfell. You're doing such a great job, says Wesley. Thanks, buddy. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. I may have missed it, or I'm just rambling on, but who's Chandler? Are you talking about Friends, Chandler? I've been watching Friends recently. Last Harpy rips. Oh, there's some shit talking going on here. I'm not getting into that. Check out Enchantment of Eternity, by the way, for those of you who don't know who he is. I love the guy. Interesting story with him. I think I had like 600 subscribers, and I emailed him. I was like, "Hey man, I love your stuff. Like, can we eventually do something together?" But I realized I don't have many subscribers. He actually took me in because he liked my content. He brought me in, and I think he really introduced me to that whole, the whole era of Talking Thrones live. Like he's really good at it. I love being in the conversations with him and Acton Tomko, and he knows a lot of great people like Phil the Issues guy, and yeah, it's great. James Smith, I haven't read your question in advance, but it looks like a paragraph, so I'm gonna read it. Episode 1. Oh, you're laying this out. Arya kills the Freys using Walder Frey's face. Bran arrives at the wall. Jon forgives the Karstark and Umber family. Brienne arrives at Winterfell. Dany arrives at Dragonstone. Yeah, well said. I agree. Ashley? Is that Ashley? That's a very unique way of spelling Ashley. I want to say it as Ashley. I wonder how Tywin, if he was alive, would have handled Dany's conquest. Yeah, I don't fucking know. Like with dragons, I have no idea. The one thing with Tywin that I was talking about is the whole aspect of the Iron Bank. Because obviously he's not an idiot. He knows that you have to pay off your debts. If you owe the Iron Bank, I believe he said if you take one stone, another one falls in its place. Like you can't fight them, and you will lose every time. So I honestly think if Tywin was still alive, they wouldn't even be in that situation. Like Daenerys would be coming to Westeros no matter what, but they would be in a totally different situation, and they would be better off, I believe. Because Cersei doesn't care at all, and she blew it with the Tyrells. She could have gotten money from them to help pay back the Iron Bank, but she didn't because she was too proud, and now they're gone. So guess what she's going to do? She's going to go to Highgarden and try and take away their resources. Chuck Sorgi. What did the former three-eyed raven mean by telling him that Bran will fly? It could have a ton of different meanings. You have like the easy way out. He could just warg into a crow and fly. I personally believe it means a lot more than that. I think it means him flying it as a dragon. Now, what I always used to say is that Drogon would die. I never thought that Viserion would die. I thought that Drogon would be the dragon that would die. Didn't think it would be this season. Thought it would be last season. Because having a dragon, having the Night King having a dragon for that long, to me is crazy. Because couldn't he just decimate everything? So that's what I'm a little confused about. But no, I thought Drogon would die, and Bran taking on the role of flying would be him warging into Viserion or Rhaegal because they would refuse to fight their alpha brother. But then that colludes things, because where's Daenerys then? She's probably dead. Jon could fly Rhaegal. I'm not sure. But then another thing could be he just flies as the three-eyed raven. And that could be flying within dreams. Bran has seen the three-eyed raven in all of his dreams. It takes him to an event, these visions. And that could be Bran flying too. And Bran's younger self is looking at his older self flying as a three-eyed raven, guiding him, leading him to his family, which is like the most significant part of the Long Night is the Stark's history. BTW, I'm cute. Oh, okay. I appreciate that, but Megan Gillis, your hair looks fucking great. Don't cut it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Are you recording this in a trap house? Pretty much. This used to be my closet. I used to have like a nice little closet where I hung all my clothes, and it was very professional. It was great. But I decided, who needs a closet? You know, why do I need to hang my clothes? I'm only 21 years old. I can make this a studio. So I moved it all out. I renovated it. I dragged Trevor in here, my brother-in-law. He put in this desk. It's very nice. It's a shame because you guys were talking about Emergency Awesome and how he's like, hey, everybody. And he's got like this really beautiful background. All the beauty's here. You guys can't see it. Maybe I'll turn it around one time. I think I showed it before in a video, but this looks terrible. This is basement cellar. It's like a rainforest in here. It's so humid. And then just over here, I got all my acoustical foam. I got two monitors. I got a light shining on me because I really wanted to fix that lighting because it makes my eyes look baggy, and I want to look good for you guys, you know? And yeah. So that is me. I'm definitely, do you classify that as a trap house? Let me know. I need to find more diverse questions. I think because I love Jon so much, I'm gravitating to Jon Snow questions. Zazy Koraku. What do y'all think about the fate of Qyburn, the Queen of Thorns, and Yara? Nobody thinks about Qyburn. Nobody ever thinks about Qyburn. But like, how crazy is it that Robb Stark was the one who introduced Qyburn? Qyburn was found. Oh shit, where was he found? I was doing pretty good until now. I want to say the Dreadfort, Winterfell. No, he wasn't found in Winterfell. I don't know. One of you probably knows. But then he was taken to Cersei, and now he kind of serves her. Qyburn, I feel like, is one of those guys who, like, why, how would he die? You know, unless he like kills himself and pulls the King's Landing, jumping out of the window. But yeah, I honestly can't picture how he would die. Queen of Thorns, I think she's gonna have to kill herself. I think she's old, but it's gonna be in a very civil way. I think I've always said Jaime's gonna go to Highgarden, and with that, the Queen of Thorns is there, and I think out of respect for her, Jaime is going to allow her to kill herself with the Mother's Mercy. And Yara, I think she's dead. I think she's done. Personally, I think they're going to bump her up to primary character status, and I think she's going to get tortured to fuck like Theon by Cersei, and I think she's going to die. And I think that really speaks to Cersei's kind of leadership ability. Like, she's not going to keep Yara as a chess piece because she's going to see that she's losing this war, and she's going to want to hurt Daenerys as much as possible. So she's just going to kill Yara. If Jon is a fire white, could he possibly get similar powers as the Night King? I don't think Jon's going to get powers. I think Jon is just going to have a connection with dragons that comes with his heritage. And I think Jon's real power is his mind and his history. And by that, I mean that he isn't ignorant. Like, he started off as an ignorant little boy. And he was kind of like Ned Stark, where he did judge people initially, and he still is like that. But the thing about Jon is that he's gone and seen different perspectives to every situation. I feel like that's going to definitely pay off later in the show. But I don't think he's going to get any powers. If anything, the White Walkers won't, or not the White Walkers, the Whites won't attack him unless the Night King might order it. I'm not 100% sure. Daenerys should learn how to fight. I wouldn't fight. I wouldn't learn how to fight if I could just ride on the back of a dragon the size of a 747. So, because I think that's a lot more efficient. What are you talking about, like fist fighting? It's interesting. I would love to see Daenerys kick some ass that way, but I don't know if we're going to see that. I'm sorry. Where did the first men come from? Any ideas? Where did the first men come from? I don't know. They're just people. They're enjoying the land. Came from the south. Maybe the east, I'm not sure. Or maybe they came from the south, Southaros, or whatever that is. And what's west of Westeros? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? Good question. How Stark the North remembers. BuzzTox. Do you think that Jorah goes to Old Town and Sam cures his grayscale? This plot point, I do. And this is the difference between my predictions and what I want. Why are they curing his grayscale? I don't understand. It makes this part about the show makes me angry. I want Jorah to die because of his grayscale, or die like in an honorable, like really like interesting way. But they cure him. To me, that I think they're going to cure him, and to me that doesn't make any sense. Like, if you're going to give somebody grayscale, it's like boom, we got the people, we kept them interested, but then they just write it off. So that arc of Jorah doesn't mean anything. It's like what they did with Arya. They stabbed her in the stomach and threw her in the river, and then guess what happens? She comes through. She's okay, and then she ends up killing the waif. That made me angry. I was really mad about episode 8 because I feel like shock value. Oh, they'll love it. We'll stab Arya. It'll scare them, and then we'll just pretend like she's totally fine. So it's that kind of stuff that I don't like. But yes, I do believe that Sam. I was saying this. If you go to my season 6 videos, season 6, episode 10, I literally said Jorah is going to Old Town, and Sam is going to work on him and see what happens. But I think, to be honest, to give other people credit, I think everyone was saying that. Like, it just seemed like the obvious thing for him to do. Like, if Daenerys sends Jorah, like, go cure yourself, where's he gonna go? He's gonna go to Old Town, like the world's library, where like all the knowledge is. So I think that makes the most sense. The video feed ended? Guys, can you answer right now? Is the video feed over? Made me nervous. Just give me like a yes. Give me something, guys. I don't want to be talking to nobody. Okay, Chuck. That's a good addition, but I want to know if you guys can hear me. You guys can't hear me? Okay, now you guys are just fucking with me. You like know you guys can't hear me. Oh, Jesus. Can you hear me fine? So we're just gonna run with it. It's the first live stream, guys. Fuck it, we got this. But I just laid my life out there and I gave you guys some really good information, and now I'm upset because I don't think any of you guys heard it. So it's a bummer. It hurts. I really threw my soul into that last question. It's a shame that you guys don't get to hear it. Maybe you're gonna have to watch it again if it comes through in the video, because I'm actually gonna be putting these up. I used to put my live streams on private, but I'm not doing that. These are gonna be up for you guys. You can watch them anytime you like. Because I had a thing about showing my face, but I'm good. I'm good now. What do we got here? Let's start with Blue Stars. You've been around for a while. Jaime offers her mother's mercy after she admits that she and Littlefinger killed Joffrey. Let me let you guys in on a secret. You guys remember? You guys know when you read something and you don't know what you read? That just happened to me. Jaime offers her mother's mercy after she admits that she and Littlefinger killed Joffrey. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, got it. Craig DeLue. Do you think that Jon kills Dany with Lightbringer to finish Forge? Like, okay. I did say that I thought that Jon would kill Daenerys. I don't know if that's true, but it's what I've always said. I think that they're going to have differences in opinion and ideologies. Daenerys all about like conquering, in the sense that like they're doing something wrong. I need to protect people. I'm going to burn their whole fucking city down. Like, that's the way Daenerys operates. Jon's kind of like, but there's people on both sides. And he's going to like, I think this is the way I predicted it like a year ago. I'm probably wrong. I always thought that Jon would end up killing Daenerys because she wouldn't stop attacking the White Walkers. And Jon realizes that they're more than just a weapon of mass destruction. But that could be considered ridiculous. And do I think we're going to see the Lightbringer thing? I honestly think that is a book thing. I think the majority of people who watch Game of Thrones don't know that stuff. Like, oh, wow, he plunged his sword and got Lightbringer. Like, the majority of the audience who watch Game of Thrones, they don't know all those little details. And I don't even, like, the show hasn't really touched on it that much. Like, in season 2, Melisandre was trying to make Stannis pull out the Sword of Fire. But the majority of people don't remember that stuff. So I would love if they did it, but I don't know if they will. But another interesting fact, that I found really interesting is that I think the nugget of that is going to be in there. Like you can find it in the show, but they're not going to blatantly tell you like, oh wow, look, he got Lightbringer. He's now the prince that was promised. They're not going to do that. I think they're just going to mildly show you. Like when Jon was resurrected, when Jon was born, we see the scene between Ned Stark and Lyanna Mormont. Ned Stark takes Dawn and he puts it over Jon Snow, almost as if Jon was born under a bleeding star. And that's a part of the prophecy, is that, you know, the savior is going to be born under a bleeding star. Well, what is that? Oh, it's the obvious comet in the sky. It's the red bleeding star. It's the comet. No, like it could be, it could symbolically be the sword. The sword is called Dawn and it's bleeding. It's a bleeding star. It's a bleeding sun and it's leaning over Jon Snow. So that it's there and you can dig into it and appreciate it as a fan, but they're not going to hit you over the head with it. Oh, thank you so much for these donations, guys. This is unbelievable. Thank you guys so much. Like, you guys don't have to donate. Like, seriously, wow. Lost for words. Thank you so much. At BuzzTox. By the way, those of you who at BuzzTox, my eye just goes right to it. So if you really want to get me to answer this question, do an at BuzzTox. I'm gonna respond to it right away because it draws my eye in. Q&A. Jon last word was ghost. Oh, from the books. Jon last word was ghost. Do you think he is fully dead to be a fire white, or has he preserved his mind by warging until his body heals? I don't know, because I know that Beric Dondarrion, he's a resurrected. He's pretty much is a fire white because his heart isn't beating. His blood isn't flowing. He's just this being that has been resurrected. It would be interesting if that did happen to Jon. But it could be a key difference that when the difference between the show and the books is that Jon says ghost. He very well could have warged into ghost and had a different experience, live as a wolf for a bit. And Beric Dondarrion didn't have that. When he died, it was darkness. So I almost think that could save Jon's mind in a way. That him dying and warging into another being could kind of protect his subconscious and his morality. But I'm just kind of, I'm going off the cuff. Like, I don't know. I'm going off the whiff. I don't know. I'm sure he's going to be changed in the books, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure. What else do we got here? Oh, I'm way up in the chat here. No. Why is everyone saying no? Oh, Jesus Christ. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm so bad at this live stream that I was literally like 5 scrolls up the chat. So thank you, Joanna Maria, for donating. That's unbelievable. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to scroll down to get to these questions because I'm really falling behind here. How long have we been live streaming? An hour. Wow. All right, let's do another. Do you think Bran will tell his sister everything, even about Jon? I said it in my predictions video that I think Bran would tell Sansa about Jon. I can't believe this, but I think I might be second guessing my prediction there. He's gonna tell. I gotta think about this stuff. I don't know if he'll tell his sister everything about Jon. You know what? Yeah, fuck it. I think he will. Because how could you not? Like, hey, like I've been like living in a tree with this old man, and I found out that our brother Jon isn't our brother. He's actually our cousin of our aunt Lyanna. And guess what? Holy shit. He's the son of Rhaegar Targaryen. I think that would be really interesting. And I think with Bran this season, it's more about proving the facts, proving his knowledge. And I think that's what's going to happen with Littlefinger. That's where his dagger comes in that we saw in season 1. Is that the dagger is the proof to everything that Bran sees. And that's going to be Sansa and Arya's job to try and hold him accountable for his actions. And that dagger is going to be proof of that, so she can sentence him to death. And then it goes from there. BuzzTox, do you think that Varys is a Blackfire and that he is Dany's third betrayal? It would be interesting if they brought in the secret Targaryen thing. And by that, I think it'd be awesome if Varys knew that Jon was a Targaryen all along. But then that's like, I almost don't know if he would betray Daenerys for Jon, because from what I've seen, Varys, he does have his spies, but for me, it seems like Varys is 100% committed to Daenerys. Even in episode 1, or in season 1, we saw a scene with him and I forget the guy's name. He was in Essos with Daenerys in the first episode of season 1, and they were talking about the Targaryen dynasty and getting somebody on the throne. So I don't think we're going to see a betrayal from Varys. And I think he's built a great relationship with Tyrion, and they both are convinced that she is the ultimate ruler. She went in Essos, she outlawed slavery. The one issue with her, though, is she can be a little bit aggressive. So I think they might have to tone that down a bit. And I think that's the arc of Tyrion. Like, he's the mentor, and he's going to be telling her, like, calm the hell down. Like, seriously, like, we need to win the support of the people, and you can't really do that if you're burning everything. Let me scroll up here, find some more questions here. Will Jon and Jaime talk again, one-on-one? You know what? Anything's possible, especially in the last episode, in episode 7. I think we're going to see interactions with a lot of people, a ton of people. And it wouldn't surprise me if that was one of the interactions. The one interaction I really want to see is I want to see Tyrion and Cersei. Like, they got to have an interaction. I think that would be the best thing ever, because she'd be all pissed off at him. And I would love a scene between them. I think that'd be awesome. What do you think Littlefinger knows about Jon? It's tricky. It's really tricky to pinpoint like what he knows and what he doesn't. But I feel like if you're a smart man in Westeros and you pay attention, it's not that he 100% knows. It's that he's connected the dots. Like, he knows of the Tower of Joy. He knows that Rhaegar had Sir Arthur Dayne there defending the tower. He knows all these little details, and it's almost to the point where if you know all these details, you'd have to be an idiot not to put the pieces together. Like, Ned Stark, of all people, comes home with a baby. Like, really? So I think he might know, but not like he's 100%. Like, he's intelligent enough to predict that. BuzzTox, when will the wall go down this season? I think it will go down. But what's funny about the wall is that everybody jumped on that bandwagon. Everyone's like, the wall's coming down. And then I think it became everybody believed it was coming down. But we still don't know. Like, it might not even come down. But, I do, because it will be such a significant part of this story. I actually thought it would fall last season. It's a really stupid prediction. I thought that Sam would go beyond the wall, and I thought as soon as he'd pass, it would crumble. But this season, I don't think that's going to happen. We see Sam at the We see Bran at the wall in the trailer. We've seen pictures of Mira Reed with Dolores Ed. I've said that wrong all the time, every single time. But we see him there. And with Bran, we've also seen him at the tree. And they're showing really early in the season because they show so much information and so much is happening. They don't want to spoil anything. So we know that Bran crosses the wall and it's not going to come down. So I hope that his mark ends up destroying the magical barrier, because I think that would make a lot of sense. Bran has to debate in his head, like, holy shit, should I stay here and die? Or, like, he's going to have to put himself ahead and being like, you know what? Like, it sounds kind of bad, but, like, I'm so vital to this fight that I must go through the wall and put other people in danger, because he knows that the wall is going to come down. But that's a sacrifice he's going to have to make. BuzzTox, do you think Bronn is a Rain? Do I think Bronn is a Rain? I don't know. I have no idea. With Bronn, I think Bronn is a really interesting character in the sense that he started from nothing. So me personally, I would love him to stay as nothing and build his way up. And I think that's the joke of the whole season. Like, he started off as a sellsword. He made his way up to be Bronn of the Blackwater. And now he's getting all these promises from Jaime Lannister, getting a castle and a wife, and then switching those up for another castle and another wife. And you know what? I think Bronn might make it through. and it wouldn't surprise me if he gets a nice castle in the Western Lands. I think that would be really awesome, and I think that's going to be him. It's going to be the birth of a new house entering a new story, and that's going to start with Bran, and I would love that. Will we get another White Walker kill this season? You're damn right. Yeah, I think you can expect a White Walker kill, and I hope we get more of the backstory. Like in season 4, we got to look at the group of 12. There were 12 White Walkers lined up, but they only travel in packs of 4, like 4 men of the apocalypse. So it's almost like a religion. So yeah, I think we'd most definitely see one die, and then another one take its place. And I find that interesting. White Walkers always operate in like a circle, and like their culture really interests me because we know that they're more than a killing machine because they clearly have culture. They don't just bring Craster's baby and convert it into a white. They put it on a podium in the center surrounded by like 12 spikes, I believe, which is very reminiscent of the spirals, which originated from the weirwood tree, from the children do like kind of like tombstones surrounding the tree. So I think hopefully we get more of a culture from them. Chuck, if the children of the forest die, shouldn't that mean the death of the Night King and Benjen Stark? That's interesting. I don't know. I think that question assumes that the magic of the children is at work constantly, and I think the magic has already been done. They already plunged the dragon glass into the heart of the Night King. That can't be, it's still there. You know what I mean? Like the magic has already been done. So I think that it can't be undone. And that assumes that the children are in charge of keeping them as an undead or whatever. And I'm sure they wouldn't let that happen. Like if they were in charge of that magic and they had to constantly keep it running, they would stop it. So I don't think that them all dying would stop that at all. Carrie Neves, Q&A. What do you predict? What do you predict the fallout will be of Sansa arranging an Arya Sweet Robin marriage? Are you calling that back to my predictions? I just came up with that. Like I don't know. I just thought that it would be interesting. It'd be kind of like a backstab of her sister, but at the same time she loves her and wants the best for her. So, and she really just wants to unite her family and make sure they're all safe. And from a realistic standpoint, during that time period, Arya can't just stand around and do what she wants. You know what I mean? Like she has to contribute to the family. So the fallout of that, I believe that the buck might stop with Jon. If Jon gets back and he finds out about an arranged marriage and all this shit that Sansa's done, like I feel like they'll go to blows for sure. And who's to say like Arya's not the kind of person who's going to stand around there and say, okay, I'll go to the Vale. She's the kind of person that would say, screw you, I'm leaving. So I don't think it would come about anyway. I just think it would be like it's a tool. It's another, she likes having all these open doors, and it's an open door that Littlefinger opened for her before he died. In my opinion, she'd try and do that. Wesley Mons, thoughts on Tormund? Just a brilliant guy. I love Tormund. He's legit one of my favorite characters, and that's for me. Like Tyrion is like really up there. Arya is really up there. Jon's really up there. But Jon was always my favorite character. So because I love Jon so much, I ended up loving everyone that surrounded him. So Sam, love him. Tormund, love him. Like they're in my top. Like I don't even know. Like they're really up there. Like I love them just as much as I would say like Arya. Like I really love those characters. So for me, anybody in the North who dies, I would be like crushed. I freaking love Tormund. And I don't think he's dying. I think he's going to keep being Jon's right-hand man until season 8. But I don't know otherwise what would happen to him. Wow, thank you so much for the donation, buddy. I'll thank you by name when I get down the chat because I'm way up answering all these questions. BuzzTox, did you hear? Oh, is this the faked plot scenes from Kit Harington? Yeah, okay. Yeah, the Kit Harington went on Jimmy Kimmel, and he said that they filmed a bunch of fake scenes. I don't know. You could just be saying that, you know what I mean? Like, you have to take that stuff with a grain of salt. And like, from a production standpoint, I don't think it makes sense for them to fake scenes. Like, they don't have time for that. Like, they got to work. And even if it is a fake scene between two particular characters, we know that they're in the same location anyway, right? So I don't know, like, what's a leaked scene that they could significantly push that would make us go, oh, you know what I mean? Like, they're not going to fake a war scene. They're only going to fake a talking scene. So I don't think it's anything valid. I think everything we've seen is pretty much legit. But plot leak wise, I think there's some things from the plot leak that I don't want to happen, and I don't think it's foolproof. I don't think the plot leak is 100% legit. But we'll only know when it starts tomorrow. BuzzTox, do you think that Tyrion will stay alive throughout season 7? 100%. Tyrion's a guarantee. He's not dying. I need a drink of water. I'm sorry. I drink out of a jar. I don't know if that's weird or what. You just get a lot of water, you know? Oh, yeah, Tyrion 100% is alive. I think Tyrion's my front runner, not because I want him to, because I actually think that Tyrion will live until the whole thing. He'll live through everything. So, and I think he could sit on the throne. If there still is a throne, you're damn right Tyrion's going to be sitting on it. I think he's the perfect candidate. And like, that's what I do. When I look at story arc, and Tyrion's whole story arc through all of Game of Thrones leads to the moment of him being a ruler. So I feel like that'll happen. Thank you so much, Sheeny Donut, for the $5. Do you think Jon will be yet another foolish Stark? No, I don't. I don't think he's going to be a foolish Stark. And that's like, here's something. I love that you asked that question. Thank you so much, Sheeny. I've watched some people who do like predictions and podcasts of Game of Thrones, and like, obviously we have our disagreements. A lot of people went out and said Jon is so stupid. And I'm talking about Battle of the Bastards. Jon is an idiot. He ran out and chased after Rick and got him killed, and then ran forward and he fucked up everything. I don't think that's foolish. I think he chased after Rickon because he has more regard for his brother's life than his own. He's doing it not because it's stupid. He knows it's stupid, but it's the right thing to do. And Jon's the kind of guy that can't live with himself if he does something wrong. He's honorable to a fault, and it may get him into trouble sometimes, but that's okay because he can sleep well at night. So I just think we're just going to see him make these honorable decisions. And if anything pops up where it's dishonorable, he won't have any part in it. And I don't think that's it. It could be considered a flaw. I personally love that of the character. And I think it makes sense. Like, I don't think he's the perfect character. I think that he's honorable to a fault because he grew up as a bastard. And he grew up really appreciating Ned Stark, who, you know, I think it's his father. You know what I mean? Like, it's his daddy. Like, he took care of him and took him under his wing. And Jon really admired that. And I think, yeah, I think he's not going to be foolish. To others, he'll be considered foolish, but to me, he's a smart guy. He's a character of perspective. I've talked about that over and over again, and I'm going to make a video about it. I think the whole "you know nothing" Jon Snow, I think that is the most ironic statement ever, because I think Jon is one of the characters who knows the most. He doesn't bullshit. He does what's right no matter what, but he always knows the double side of the story, and that's his whole arc. If you look at it, the wildlings, understanding the other side, the Night's Watch, being introduced to the Night's Watch, he thought it was a place for honor, but he wasn't. He learned all of these things. He learns duality. Tyrion taught him that. He's the mentor. Tyrion taught Jon that these people have stories, you know? Don't be ignorant to other things around you. And I think that's his arc. Deborah, it's good to see you again from Westworld. Question, will you ever see where the White Walkers live? Well, an argument could be made that we already did in season 4. Believe it was episode 6. Don't quote me on that. But I believe that we could possibly see more of that. But I don't know, though. The White Walkers are coming south, so we may not see where they live in more detail. But it would be interesting. But your guess is honestly as good as mine. People are saying, hey, you guys are coming in now? Whew. We're an hour in. Are we an hour in? We're an hour and 15 in. Well, it's 5 minutes late, so an hour and 10. Which sword, Rouge Theory, or Rogue Theory, sorry, I feel like an idiot. Which sword do you think is Lightbringer? Do you think that it could be Longclaw? Well, I did talk about Lightbringer. I don't know if it's going to be addressed as Lightbringer. If anything, probably Longclaw. I don't see Jon grabbing another sword, and I'm of the theory. I could be totally wrong. It could be Daenerys. It could be. It's not Tyrion. It could be Jon. It could be Daenerys. But I'm of the belief that Jon is the only savior, and I believe his character arc backs that up. And I believe that will Lightbringer, if it would be in the show, it would come out through Longclaw. Why is Jon a white? To answer it simply, he was resurrected. So he was dead and then he was brought back. So he could be kind of connected to that. And the whites might not attack him directly because of that. Epuid Bane. Q&A. How will Arya gain the weight and be as tall as Walder Frey if she's wearing... Well, she ate a lot of those pies that she cooked up of Black Walda, of course. But she won't gain all the weight. Yeah, you stumped me, man. I don't know. And that's the thing I was talking about with the voice. I don't know. That's why I think if we see Walder Frey, he's not going to talk. I don't know how we're going to get his body type. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. But I'm sure hopefully they make it believable. What else? Will Jon ride a blonde dragon? No, he'll ride a green dragon. That one's called Rhaegal. Ellie Findlay. I'm sorry, I'm getting a text from my girlfriend who's watching the show, and she said I'm really far behind in questions. Am I actually really far behind in questions? Because it'd really suck if I am. I'm really, all these questions are blowing my mind. We might have to take all these questions and do another live stream tomorrow as a build up to Game of Thrones. Let me know if you guys are interested in that. That'd be fun. What else do we got here? Put your tinfoil hat on. It's my favorite kind of hat. If Daenerys becomes the Night Queen, and her and the Night King live beyond the wall, do you think that Craster's last son will be her new white baby? You really are wearing that tinfoil hat, eh? Wow. I think I have to read it again to completely understand what you're saying. Daenerys becomes the Night Queen and the Night King live beyond the wall. Do you think that Craster's last son will be her new white baby? Yeah. I think so. Yeah, that makes sense. I know in the show that she's barren, like she cannot have kids. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Daenerys would have a child? Because they did make it pretty clear that she's barren, but I don't know. I know that there's hints in the books that she may not be, but I don't know. Let me know what you think. Aegon Targaryen. Thanks for asking a question, brother. BuzzTox. Because the show cut Aegon, I can tell you're a big Aegon fan. Do you think that he's not important in the books? Aegon who? Aegon Targaryen. I'm sorry, guys. It's been like with the books, I'm not on top of them as I should be. So which Aegon are you talking about? Or Aemon? Oh no, you're clearly asking about Aegon. Just ask it down below and I'll get back to you. Oh, Rhaegar Targaryen. Wait. Okay, never mind. Zim137, what's up, man? Season 8. What do you think will happen when Bran and Jaime come face to face again? I don't think it's going to be this big blowout thing. I think it's going to get past the point of. Here's the thing. I think it's going to get to the point where Bran knows, but we're going to see how far Bran's come, where he realizes that Jaime, even though it may have been him who pushed him off, it had to have been Jaime to push him off the tower for him to become who he was supposed to be. He pushed Bran off into his destiny. Bran may be bitter, but at the same time, it was a necessary step to make Bran the Three-Eyed Raven. It was a necessary step because now Bran has the tools to help save Westeros. So I think that's pretty much what's going to happen. Rogue Theory, thank you for answering the question. Keep up the great work, and I'm a big fan of BuzzTox. I enjoy the channel. Someone nice as you, it's hard not to let. Oh, thank you so much. That is so nice of you. So nice of you. Thank you so much, guys. And let me know if you guys are getting tired of this. I'm fine. I'm doing good. I can spout for even longer. I'm totally cool with this. I'm really enjoying myself. I love talking to you guys. I haven't really built a relationship with my subscriber base. And obviously I know all you guys because I read all the comments and I love all you guys for all your support. But it's another thing to sit here and interact with you guys. I love building that relationship. And this is a lot of fun. I'm excited to do it next week. And can you fucking believe it? Game of Thrones is out tomorrow? Tomorrow. Oh my God. It's going to be insane. I just want to quickly say that I'm going to have a reaction video at about 11 o'clock tomorrow night, a reaction video. And I think I made it pretty clear. My reaction videos are pretty shit. I just overlay pictures and talk because I want to get it out as fast as possible so you guys can kind of latch on to something and listen to something. So I just want you guys to know you're going to have a video tomorrow or tomorrow night. And it's not going to be great quality-wise, but I'm going to be talking about Game of Thrones. So enjoy it. Oh, excuse me. BuzzTox. Why are they not doing Robert's Rebellion? They're not doing Robert's Rebellion because we're going to be getting a lot of Robert's Rebellion in this series. And I've talked about, we've already seen the Tower of Joy. That's a huge plot point in Game of Thrones. And and I think we're going to get a lot more of Robert's Rebellion. Like for my Bran predictions, you can check those out as well. I talk about how Bran's whole journey is going to further understand the relationship between his first journey as the Three-Eyed Raven was to learn about Lyanna Stark, to Jon's birthplace. Next is learning about the father, Rhaegar. And I think we're going to see the tourney of Harrenhal in depth. We're going to see the tourney of Harrenhal where Rhaegar wins and gives Lyanna the Winter Roses. But even before that, we're going to be seeing the tourney of Harrenhal through the whole season. I'm probably wrong, by the way. My tinfoil hat is a little too tight. But I think that we're going to see the Night of the Laughing Tree. And I think that would be an awesome story arc to see. And I think that takes too much out of Robert's Rebellion. But that raises questions like what kind of series are we going to get? Aegon's Conquest, whatever. I personally, in 10 years, give me a good sequel. And I know that's tough because we don't know what's going to happen. But here's a small plot point that I was talking to Trev about. If you have the Dothraki, okay, Daenerys brings the Dothraki to Westeros, right? The Dothraki are now in Westeros. Whatever happens, shit goes down. Let's say Daenerys dies, Westeros goes to shit, but then people move on. Dream for spring. Spring comes. They move on. There's a new ruler. But now the Dothraki, they aren't living in the grass oceans. They're not living in Essos anymore. They're living in Westeros. So that's an interesting plot point. What if you had a Khal that was like Genghis Khan that went around Westeros and raped and pillaged all of these castles? You know what I mean? That's such an interesting plot point to move forward. So for me, I know we're getting a prequel, but I'm more of the sequel mindset. I would love if they took advantages of those things. Question: this is Ocean Mist. As Craster's last living son, Sam is still alive with his mother Gilly. Do you see him being part of the end game somehow? Do I see Sam being a part of the end game, or do I see Craster's son, Little Sam, being a part of the end game? Craster's last living son, I think he's pretty much out of the clear. I think he's fine, and I think they're going to keep him safe. Sam is very important to the end, and I think Sam is going to make it through. And I love the idea that Sam tells the story of a Game of Thrones. I've always loved that idea. I'm really behind on these questions. Love your channel. Thank you so much, Rosie. Igor, you don't know me. You're damn right I don't. Aegon, who was meant to have been killed by the Mountain, but supposedly escaped by Varys in the books, and he was building an army and going to marry Dany. Right, that guy. Yeah, see, that kind of stuff I don't know. Because it's my problem is that I'm so steeped in the show that it's hard for me to draw connections to that kind of stuff now. If anything, his role, the role of, what's-his-face, Aegon, would be shifted over to Jon. and Jon would kind of take that story arc. But those characters have to end up. The Game of Thrones show is going to end the same as Game of Thrones the books, but it takes a different path to get there. So it would be interesting to see how that would happen. And in the books, I think that it wouldn't surprise me if it did like work out or Varys backs Aegon. I'm honestly not sure, but yeah, it'll be interesting when George R. R. Martin finally gets his book out, if that ever will happen. Wesley, 23 hours. Holy shit. I know. I'm so excited. Like, I can't contain my excitement. Like, I love Game of Thrones too much. Like, too much. Like, it's like my life. I love it. It's my career. Holy shit. I'm in a little deep, guys. Well, it's not my career. It's like it's my hobby / career. I'm a student full time. So interesting fact about me. Maybe do the reaction vid live. Interesting. Little dilemma. First of all, I'm going to be watching Game of Thrones at my house with like 7 people. We like it's going to be a blast. One of those people is Trevor. For those of you who've been around for a while, you know who Trevor is. He's awesome. I love him, but he doesn't like to show his face, and I totally respect that. He has a life of his own. He wants to, do his own thing. That's totally cool. But I want Trev to be in the reaction videos, like in our old videos. But it's not all Trev. On top of that is that we like to get to work immediately. So we don't record. We wouldn't fit in here. We record in his car. We get out of my house and we get in Trev's car and we record the reaction video. But we use my Yeti, so it sounds good. Like, you won't know I'm in a car unless it rains. But that's the way we do our reaction videos. If we did see, I do like the idea of doing it live, but it would be so late. I don't know. Look, Rosie, I'll think about it. I'm looking for questions now. When you do at BuzzTox, just a tip, Chuck, I'm not a Twitter expert. If you go on my Twitter, I have like 40 followers and I make no tweets. I don't know how Twitter works. But if you're going to do at BuzzTox, it's at and then immediately BuzzTox, but then put the T next to the Z because it's one word, BuzzTox. It's like my own word, my own little thing. Just so I can see your question better. That's why I want to read your questions, Chuck. He said, I don't get it though. Why did Bran have to be crippled to become the three-eyed raven? It cut off his ability to... Ew. Sorry, I have a hair in my mouth. Ew. Problem is when you got a mane like mine, yeah, it gets in your mouth. That's going on a little... There we go. I got it. All right, we're good. I think the whole thing about him getting pushed out is it chose his... Bran wasn't able to choose his destiny. It was something that was given to him the moment he was pushed off that tower. He was a cripple. He couldn't move. He couldn't be the warrior he wanted to be. And I believe that, like, in his coma, it was like it gave him the ability to trigger his hidden ability. And watch my Bran Stark video. I'm telling you right now, Bran Stark is the three-eyed raven. I go in this really deep. His relation to Catelyn, how that relates to Jon. Like, I really fleshed out Bran's story in that video, so check that out. I'm going to sound like an idiot if I try and spout off what I spouted in that video, so it would just be better if you check that out. Do I think that Koth is going to make an appearance in this season? No, I don't think we're going to see any of Essos in this season. I think that's it. Hello, BuzzTox. Talk about GOT and time travel. Time travel as in, like, characters time traveling, like Littlefinger. Like, I remember Enchantment of Eternity always says Littlefinger's time traveler. Like, he's in Winterfell, and then all of a sudden he ends up at the Vale. You know what I mean? Well, reverse that. That kind of time travel, or legit Bran Worgen in a Hodor time travel. So yeah, just define what kind of time travel. Talk about the time travel in GOT. Thanks for clearing that up. I still don't know what kind of time travel you're talking about. Rocking that Jaime Lannister mane. You're damn right I am. I love this hair. I go to a salon to get it cut. I'm that far deep. But here's the thing. I've been getting my hair. When I was a kid, I had the Justin Bieber haircut. Just like I had this, and yeah, I met my barber, or my barbess, or my, let's just call her a barbess. My hairstylist. There we go. And then I met her, and she does such a great job. And last time I went to a barber, he shaved my hair off. So I don't want that. I want to grow my Lannister mane. So I got to go to a salon. That's what you got to do to get the long Lannister locks. I hope the dragon kills everyone. That's dark. Direwolves meet dragon? Yes or no? No. No, I don't think so. Not in this season. And if I feel like it'd be weird for them to film a scene of I think it'd be weird for them to film a scene of Ghost meeting like Rhaegal. Like I don't know. I just feel like they haven't spent enough time on the direwolves, and like with Rhaegal, I just feel like they don't need a meeting, you know. But in the battle for Westeros in season 8, who knows what's going to happen, right? Do you think that because Rhaegar Targaryen was the best sword of his day, that Jon is too? No, I don't. I don't think that, you know, whatever Jon's father was reflects on him. And I love to distance Jon as much as possible from Rhaegar. He may have the same blood, but Jon's father is Ned Stark. And I love the connection between Ned and Jon. And like, if you look in the show, they're pushing it. They're pushing that connection between Ned Stark and Jon Snow. And I think it's awesome. So I don't think Jon is going to be an amazing swords person because Rhaegar is. I just think the most important thing is that Jon Snow's character is like his real father, Ned Stark. What else we got here? Do you think that Lady Stoneheart will ever make an appearance? I've been poo-pooing Lady Stoneheart forever. Like no, we're not. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but we're not going to see Lady Stoneheart, because think about it from a story perspective. Like, how are you going to get Lady Stoneheart back in here? Like, they're gonna drag her decaying ass out of the river, and they're gonna resurrect her. Like what is she gonna do? You know what I mean? So and she has nothing to add to the plot. So I don't know. Okay, guys, hold off on the questions for 2 seconds. I just want to get to my questions that they asked in the chat on YouTube. So first of all, from Marley B, did Cersei use all the wildfire in the Sept? No, she didn't. Well, she used it all in the Sept because she blew it the fuck up, but there's more wildfire. There's a lot more where that came from. The Mad King made sure of it. It's under the Red Keep. It's under all these areas. And if you watch my Cersei prediction video, it leaves off with that being her plan. She's going to hold King's Landing. They're going to go north to fight the White Walker threat. She's going to hope that the Night King kicks their ass. But if Daenerys comes back on her dragons, she's got the wildfire and the Red Keep, and she's not afraid to use it, because she believes in her mind that Daenerys is not worthy of that throne, and she'd rather die than her, you know, climb the throne. Andre, and I love this guy. He's been a Westworld fan for a while. He asks the theories of Bran and Bran's history. Oh, we addressed this. The whole thing about Bran being Bran the Builder, and that whole lore about him being all the Brans. He asks if it's stupid. I did talk about that earlier. It is extremely stupid. Well, okay, I don't want to say it's stupid. It's interesting, but it's not for me. What else do we got here? BuzzTox, have you played the Telltale game of Game of Thrones, and do you think that anything will tie into the series like the North Grove? Here's the thing. Never played the Telltale game. I should, but I haven't. And I don't think anything in that is going to play a role in this show at all. If anything, it may be like a little Easter egg, like they'd address like, oh, House Forrester, because I've heard that that's in the Telltale games. But other than that, I don't think they're going to have a vital role in the show. BuzzTox, do you think that Jon's birth caused the White Walkers to come back, mixing of First Men and Valyrian blood? Well, that's interesting. Do you think that Jon's birth caused the White Walkers to come back, mixing of the First Men and Valyrian blood? I don't know. It's interesting. It's really hard to say, because when the Savior is born, something needs saving. So are they correlated? I know that Jon is extremely close with the Night King. The two are pretty much the exact same. They parallel in many ways. They're both made of fire and ice. They both, like, the connection runs so deep. And I think that in Hardhome, when it seemed like he took an interest, the Night King took an interest in Jon, I think that went past Jon just killing him with a Valyrian steel sword. I think that means a lot more. So it could be possible because the connections between them are already so strong. Do you think that Jon Snow will die again and be resurrected? No, I think they're done with that. If he dies, he's done for good. But I don't know if he's going to die or not. Will we see more of the Ice King this release? This release is in this time? Yes. No. I honestly, you know what? Yes. Because in the... there's going to be a scene where we're going to get to see the Night King multiple times. We've seen him in the trailer, and they're advertising that winter's here. And it's at the point now where the characters have to start getting involved and start solving this issue. And I believe they're going to end up confronting the Night King. I believe that we may get just a little bit more of the Night King than we did in Season 6. We've been getting him pretty consistent, though. We got the Night King in Episode 5 in Hold the Door, Hodor, in that episode. But then we got a little bit more of him in Hardhome. I believe we're going to probably get just one episode. No, I think we'll get 2 episodes with the Night King involved. So I think that would be interesting. All right, BRB. See you later, Zim. All right, guys. Let's do the last round of questions here. We'll do 10 more minutes. How does that sound? Let me just check all my stuff here. And I just want to thank you all again for coming out. I love it. This is a blast. I should have done this way sooner. And it's easy. You know how long it takes me to edit a video? Holy hell. It takes me hours. Like, I think one time it took me 8 hours to edit a video. That's me sitting in this chair. And it's such a sad existence. You look outside and the sun is shining and I haven't left. And I'm with my coffee and my breath stinks. And it's just not fun. Megan, so you're going to stop at 10:17. Clever girl. You know what? I'll bump it up to 10:20. But I might have to stop it earlier if these questions start fading out. You guys running out what to ask me? Valar Margulis, what's up, man? Tomorrow's the day. Tomorrow is the day. Tomorrow's the day. I know. I'm so excited. I'm so freaking excited. And I'm excited to be surprised. I think we're going to get some stuff that we've never seen before or heard before, so I'm pumped. BuzzTox, have you addressed the first 3 episode titles? And yes, I have, Aegon. Check out my, what's the name of the video? I believe the video is exactly the way you described it. It's, I don't know. It says something like episode breakdown, whatever. It's one of my last 3 videos. If you look at the thumbnail, it's actually Jon and Daenerys from the posters that they released. They're like blue. So you can check that video out. Are you going to do a live show before and after the show tomorrow? See, that's the debate. How many live shows do I do? I love doing live shows, but I want to make sure this channel holds a certain level of quality. I don't want to sink into what's easy. I don't want to sink into just sitting here. Like, I love doing live streaming. I love connecting with you guys, but I want to make sure you guys got the best, well-edited content possible. So I'll tell you what, I'll sleep on it. But what I was planning to do was doing a live stream every Saturday at 8:30, just before the episode, so we can geek the fuck out and talk about episode 1 and then geek out about episode 2. Because I have a big ambitious plan, and like, I wasn't going to tell you guys, but I'll tell you, I'm planning on doing 5 videos a week. Now, it starts with the reaction video. I told you plenty about that. You get the breakdown video. Breakdown video is going to be spoiler free. I'm not going to be talking about spoilers in that video. So don't be commenting being like, you ignorant son of a bitch. Like, blah, blah, blah. I know about the plot leaks. I know what's going on, but I'm not going to address it. It's going to be me and Trevor, and he doesn't know anything about it. And we did that purposely. Trevor's going in not knowing what's happening. So please don't comment and say, Trevor, you're such a dumbass. We did that on purpose because I want to follow Trevor on his journey. So we're going to do that. And then I'm going to do another video, the breakdown. So I'm going to go a spoiler heavy video on what's going to happen next. So that would be like episode 2. What's going to happen? And you're going to find that I'm going to be really streaming together all of my predictions, telling you what's going to happen the next episode, and we'll see if I'm alive. I see if I'm alive. I read that comment, and Robb Stark is alive. Now I forgot what I was going to say. See what happens when you ramble on. So there's those 3 videos. 4th video I want to do, you have my live stream, and then the 4th video I want to do a special high quality video that addresses a specific issue a specific issue in the episode. Say for example, if we watch episode 1, and the biggest thing that everyone pulls from that episode and the biggest thing that everyone is talking about is what is Littlefinger's motive, I will make a really good video on what Littlefinger's motive is. Okay, so it's going to be episode specific. I really want a high quality episode specific video. What else do we got here? But we'll see what happens. I might crumble and that's it. I might not be able to hit my goals. But we'll see. We'll see. I have been working a lot. I think a couple days ago, I literally started working to edit a couple prediction videos for you guys. I stayed up till 9 in the morning or 8 in the morning, and then I went to bed. So I'm determined. How Stark remembers BuzzTox. Don't have HBO. I can't watch it. Do you know where I can watch it for free? No, I don't. My problem was I didn't have HBO either. I bought it. And the thing about Canada, if you guys can't tell I'm Canadian, you can't just get HBO now. You have to get it through your cable company, which is barbaric. Why can I not sign up for HBO? That's ridiculous. But you have to sign up through your cable company, so I pay like $10 a month. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. Do it and support the show. You know, the show is so fucking good. You got to show your support, my man. But ways to get it for free, I'm sorry, buddy. I honestly don't know. But I'm sure if you search on Google, you'll find something. But it'll fuck your computer over. I just want to warn you about that. Eric Cartman's dick. Do you think that Jon is slowly becoming a White Walker because of his revival of Beric Dondarrion? I don't think so, because we haven't seen that arc. We haven't seen that unfold. Jon seems like he's totally fine now. If anything, we'll get a reveal that Jon has a certain connection with the Whites. Like, they won't attack him a certain way. The only reason I believe that is because if you look at the trailer when Jon has his badass behind the back shot, it's nobody's attacking him. And there's fire, so we know that Daenerys has been there. So I don't know, but I think that scene is really going to show Jon's importance. Do you think that we will be going to the Island of Faces? That was the name I was trying to talk about. We could, but not this season. If we go to the Island of Faces, that's the last season. For those of you who don't know, the Island of Faces, I believe geography-wise, I know more about Westeros than I do about freaking United States geography. I'm Canadian, so it's not that bad. If you go, I believe it. Don't punish me here, but I believe it's above King's Landing. It's in between the north. It's under the north, in between. It's somewhere there, and it's surrounded by a circular body of water, and there's an island in the middle, and surrounded by weirwood trees. I believe that's a very interesting spot to go. And what would be the most interesting is, what if the Night King tries to fight his way to those trees? Because we've seen that he's had a connection with the Children of the Forest. He's obviously very pissed off because they converted him into a White Walker. I personally believe that he can use green sight, and I think that that's the place he would go, like defending the Island of Faces. I think that'd be really interesting. How does the captured White make it to King's Landing through the wall? Bran's mark. I just came up with that on the spot. I was going to tell you I have no idea, but then I thought about it. If they would do it, it would be Bran's mark. We've seen it disenchant the cave north of the wall, and that got them in a lot of trouble. And I think it's going to do the same with the wall. And that's going to be Bran's. And Bran will know that. That's going to be his active decision. It'll be like, should I go south and ruin the magical enchantments and risk all of Westeros? Or should I, like, sacrifice myself? And he's going to have to put himself first and realize that he's very special in a way, and he's integral to the Long Night. So he's going to have to make that sacrifice. Zim, you're Canadian. You're so nice. Thank you so much, buddy. Have you guys noticed that I say thank you too much? Maybe because I'm Canadian. But people all of a sudden, you guys probably aren't even interested, but people can pinpoint my accent. But like you guys, I don't think I have a fucking accent. You know what I mean? Like I don't have an accent, but I apparently I do. Apparently the way I say about, it sounds normal to me. I don't say a boot. I say about, and clearly I don't live in an igloo. I live in a closet. Look out for the new house this series, House Iger Hawkins. Yeah, you're damn right. Do you think that the end of the show will be an Iron Throne and it wouldn't have any meaning? Honestly, this question I'm stumped on, because if it's not the Iron Throne, there's still going to be a ruler, but they just won't sit on the Iron Throne because time goes on. You know what I mean? Like eventually the war is going to be won, and they're going to have to go back to the way things were. And I don't believe that they're going to put in a democratic system or, you know what I mean, a republic. But yeah, I think there's going to have to be somebody who rules, whether they're on the Iron Throne or not. And I've made it clear this live stream. I think it might be Tyrion. Like, he seems like the perfect candidate, and his story arc kind of lines up with that happening. Do you think Jaime Lannister will do in season 7 or 8? Yes, I do think he will do. Okay, I'll answer your question for real. Will he die? Yeah, not this season. If he dies, it would be next season. How? I would love for him to die kind of saving everybody else and killing Cersei. I'm on that theory bandwagon like everyone else because I freaking love it. I think it's genius. Is Jacket and Syrio the same person? Who will win Clegane Bowl, and how does winter affect Essos? Clegane Bowl. I'm not a Clegane Bowl guy. I've poo-pooed it just like Lady Stoneheart. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think we will get a little tease. Like, you know, we'll see them together and we'll see them kind of have a negative interaction. But I honestly think the Hound he won't feel sorry for his brother, but he'll be pissed off that Cersei made him like a zombie. He'll be really mad because it's just a respect thing, you know. Like he'll just be really angry about that, and he'll want his brother to die and almost die in peace. You know what I mean? So I think even though there's a lot of hatred there, there's still a bit of love. Do you watch Vikings? If don't, you should. I don't watch Vikings. I never have. I haven't watched many shows actually. What was I gonna say? What shows do I watch? Breaking Bad. I watched Breaking Bad. I'm not watching it again. It's not a rewatchable show. You know what I mean? Game of Thrones. I've watched it 100 times. I don't watch much shows, guys. I don't watch much shows. I watched 13 Reasons Why. 13 Reasons Why. 13 Reasons Why. Dark show. I watched it halfway through, and I watched the really depressing part. The really depressing parts where she spirals into a very, very deep dark depression, and I was just crying for like 3 episodes until she killed herself, which was even worse. So yeah, moving on. Iger Hawkins, your coverage of Westworld is amazing. Thank you. Let me just quickly say that I'm going to come out with more Westworld videos. I'm going to do some news videos. I got to do prediction videos, right? So those are coming soon. Well, I don't want to promise and say too soon because obviously Game of Thrones is going to span 7 weeks. I'm dedicating 100% myself to Game of Thrones right now. Westworld's going to come after that, but I'm going to cover it really well. And that, honestly, Westworld blew up our channel really well. Like, it blew us up really good. Like, it was insane. I can't believe it. It was unbelievable. And Trev and I, we got really lucky. Like, we predicted a lot of stuff right. But I guess that happens because I watched the episode that airs like 3 times before we make like a prediction video about it. So I guess it was kind of bound to happen because I pick every single detail. BuzzTox. It sounds like they will have a show a year after Game of Thrones ends. What will it be about? What show? I didn't hear about this news. Please message me, let me know. And who's that? The Other. Please let me know about that. The Other. Derek Stokes, BuzzTox, Arya, and Gendry. Oh, well, I included myself like I'm in Game of Thrones, but I'm not. That's sad. Arya and Gendry getting together. Finally, a Stark Baratheon relationship. Perhaps marriage. So why not? They seem to have a connection. I would love that to happen. I would love that to happen 100%. Don't think it's going to happen. What do I think is going to happen? Let me think about this for a second. I don't think they'll marry. They have to reunite. I got to see them together. Because that's how Gendry became a popular character, you know? Actually, not true. Gendry was an important character when he was around Arya, but he became a popular character when he was rowing for 4 years. That's when he became popular. But now that he's back, if he sees Arya, it won't be this season, it'll be next season. Reek is joining Unsullied. You're damn right he is. He joined the Unsullied 3 years ago. And it's going to be interesting seeing Theon. Theon's going to have a crazy arc this season. We've seen in the trailers the big battle on the ships. They get attacked by Euron Greyjoy. And he might have to take a leadership role. I'm surprised the little bastard has made it this far. Like, I thought he would have died. But he's made it. He rescued Sansa, and now he's got to be a leader, which I guess is going to be a big struggle for him. But we're going to do rapid fire. 5 more minutes. I'm going to go 5 minutes over to make up for the 5 minutes I was late. So throw in these questions. I'm going to answer them as fast as I can. But then I'm cutting it off, even though I really don't want to. But I feel like I got to cut it off sometime, you know? Theon predictions video. I fucking cut it because I didn't have time. Will Theon be the new Grey Worm? No. Reek will unite with Varys. Yes. I like that. Yes, he will. That's funny. Thanks, Igor. I don't know how to say it. How does winter affect Essos? To be honest, man, I have no idea. Because you think that everyone would be like, oh, great, let's just go to West. Let's just cross the sea again. I'm sure the Dothraki would be pissed. But maybe nothing would happen. But even if Essos was perfect and like everyone wanted to migrate there to keep safe, I forgot what I was going to say. You have so many people in Westeros, so many people can only escape. You know what I mean? They only have so many resources. People in Casterly Rock are fucked because they got to make their way all the way to the sea to ship to Essos. So even if the weather there is fine, it would still be catastrophic. Derek Strokes, is Trevor ever going to show his face? I don't know. But, you know, all I got to do is respect his opinion. You know, it is what it is. For me, I battled with that. I didn't want to show my face for a while. It's comforting not having a camera on you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting in my basement talking to like 200 people. It's, I got to watch what I say. I got to, you know, I got to be somewhat professional. You know, I got to carry myself a certain way. And, you know, you guys could potentially find me. And it's a security thing. I trust you guys, but you know, from Trev, he has his own life going on. He has a family, all these things. And, you know, for that, I respect it. You know, he doesn't want his name out there. And a big thing is professional work. You know, I'm going for a business degree. You need to have a certain level of professionalism. And in the corporate world today, they're not very privy to online personalities. You know, they don't want you spewing your opinion out there because it reflects badly on their business. So it's that kind of stuff you have to watch out for. Rosie, BuzzTox, thanks for an awesome live stream. Looking forward to the prediction video. Thank you so much. We're ending in about 3 minutes. What time is it? In about 2 minutes. BuzzTox, will Daenerys and Jon live or die? And will Targaryen bloodline come to an end or continue on? I hope to God it continues on. Who will die? Daenerys? 100%. Like, you have my personal guarantee. Daenerys is fucked. She's dead. And I think her dragons are going to die with her. Jon is a mixed bag. Jon is many things. He could be, oh God, he could take on the role of the Night King. That is a very tinfoil theory. He could be dead, but you know, running things over the wall. He could be the king of Westeros, which I doubt. That I don't think that's going to happen. He could be the king in the north still, which that is my perfect ending for Jon, him being the king of the north. That isn't run under the Seven Kingdoms. It's its own kingdom. I would love that. But I think Jon for me is a 50-50. I don't know about Jon. Yeah, don't know. BuzzTox, enjoy the premiere. Thanks for the live, man. Looking forward to the next one. Thanks a lot, buddy. We'll be back at Saturday at 8:30. And if I decide doing another live stream, like, this is a lot of fun. I can just sit down and chat with you guys. You know, I might do it more. we'll see what happens. Like, this is a lot more fun than like I don't know where I was going with that, but I'm just having fun. You know what I mean? It's a lot more fun than Minecraft. I'll put it that way. Tyrion sits on the throne. Who would he even marry? I don't know. You know, it's a possible. Oh, guys, get this. You ready? Tyrion continues his marriage with Sansa. That's crazy. But Sansa seems like the character that would be queen at the end of this. And I think it'd be really interesting to see Tyrion kind of bring that marriage back with Sansa. And I feel like Sansa's come such a long way, where instead of her being so superficial and, like, you know, obviously not wanting to marry him, he's short and he's ugly, and she'll see what would come out of it. You know, he's the only man who's truly been kind to her. Well, now she has Jon, so she's kind of grasping with that as well. But she may willingly want to marry Tyrion for strategical reasons, as well as he's one of the only people who have ever really treated her right. She's had a tough upbringing, you know, so I think that'd be interesting. BuzzTox, if the Hound created a new house, would the sigil be a chicken? Yeah, man. It would be, what else would it be? He just wants a fucking chicken. Sansa would break him in half. What, the chicken or the Hound? Oh, Tyrion. Gotcha. I think Tyrion's tougher than you think, man. Thanks, Kimberly Tucker, for sticking in. Sorry it glitched out on you. Take care. Tyrion is awesome. Igor, lol. And now I'm going to end the live stream, everybody. You got to draw the line somewhere. I could do this all day. I'm having a blast all night. But it's got to come to an end sometime. But I think I'm going to be doing a live stream very soon. I've really enjoyed this live stream experience. I don't even know how long we've been going. Does anybody, can anyone let me know how long we've been going here? I have no idea. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks, Zim. Thanks for being the first one in the chat. I noticed those things. Even though we're not even in this live stream, we're in another live stream because I don't know how technology works. 2 hours ago, thank you, Jennifer. Epuid, Bane, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Wait, I can just do simple math. We started at 8:30. It's been 2 hours. Wow. Okay. I'm going for a business degree, not a math degree, guys. Come on. BuzzTox, that was cool. Thanks, buddy. I'm so glad I got to get to know you guys more. Thanks, Rosie. Best live stream ever. Thanks a lot, buddy. I really appreciate that. I can never end the chat. This is so hard for me. I don't want to say goodbye. Shit. Lol. I could just sit here all day reading these. Lol. Brace your eyes for tomorrow. I will, man. I'm pumped. I'm pumping right now. I wish we had somewhere we could just spout out quotes for the show. You know nothing. Huh. See what I did there? It's a quote. Don't go. You know what? I gotta go. I gotta draw the line Eric Chapman's dick. So I'm gonna draw it right now. But now we're gonna have that awkward moment where I'm trying to figure out how to stop the goddamn broadcast, and I'm just gonna be standing here. Yeah, sorry guys, can't hang out. I gotta go. It's been fun. I want to do this very soon. Where's the web? I'm looking at it. Okay, we're good. I'm just looking at the wrong webcam. Sorry guys, I got 2 webcams on the go right now. But that is it, everybody. Take care. Leave a like, comment down below. Let me know. I'm gonna do my typical YouTube ending. Let me know. Share this video. Leave a comment because I'm gonna answer comments on this video. But until then, until the next live stream, I'll see you guys later.